All right, guys, so we have a few bits of news to talk about today. The Halloween path and how I plan to finish this up tomorrow. We've got to talk about the Fusion calendar and where you should be. The Plarium Play mini game, that if you don't have access to a PC, well, it's going to be more difficult. But if you know someone who does have access to a PC, they don't mind logging into your Plarium Play and playing this mini game for you. They will help you get these rewards, some Chronophage gear, a Primal Shard. I believe this is a Dark Elhain avatar, as well as some other goodies along the way. It's a fun game. I like playing it. It's pretty simple, especially if you like, I guess, Diablo-like games. It was pretty easy. Now, with that said, we have a little bit of news that's not so exciting, specifically how you're going to go about getting Maria's 5-star soul. So Plarium is planning to launch a champion chase. It's going to be this Friday, where you'll be able to get a perfect soul for Maria, as well as some Thorn Golem fragments. Now, you're going to have to take part in this. If you manage to take first place on the leaderboard of 50 players, so 2% of players will get a 5-star soul for Maria, 4-star soul if you're lower level, 3-star soul if you're level 1 to 41. So we do have these level brackets, which could be good, unless you're a level 42 to 64 player who gets matched up with one of those players who are like level 50 with every single mythical in the game. Well, it kind of sucks for you. But during this tournament, you'll earn Maria's perfect soul. The higher your level, the higher the soul. Now, how this is going to work is you open shards, you open more shards than everybody else, or have better luck than everybody else, and you get the 5-star soul. Now, this kind of sucks because you're not going to get the soul guaranteed. Not a Hero's Path, not a Titan event, not a Deck of Fate, nothing like that. You got to compete versus other players with opening shards to actually get her soul. It's especially unfortunate because damage dealers, more than supports oftentimes, really need that 4-star soul at least to be especially viable, because that 4-star soul is going to be what gives them that extra crit damage. And heck, for Maria, that 2-star soul is very valuable. So the 2 and 4-star soul are massive. The 5-star soul is good for the benefits it gives you as far as the effect of the soul, but that 2 and 4-star soul, very important for her to actually do some good damage. And if you're later in the game and you have champions like Krokad with a soul, you have whatever other nuker you have with a soul, they may do better than Maria. However, she is good. I'd still go for her without a doubt. It just sucks that Plarium is putting her behind this group. But that does make me think, since they're rushing her soul out, that Leonardo is likely to be next week. If they put her event or soul in like a Titan event, then Leonardo would likely not be next week. But I got a feeling there's a decent chance that he will be next week. Now, with that said, we've been saying it's going to be next week for the past few months. So really, who knows when it's going to be. But this is going to be a champion chase. You got to go for it for the fusion anyways. And you will be able to open up your fragment summons you've collected, the Thorn Golems that you've been collecting, any fusions in here if you have stuff saved up for these. This is a good way to do that as well. Any prism pools you have, which if you have these, this ends in 1 day and 17 hours. The events on the calendar, 1 day and 17 hours is going to be Friday morning. So basically, if you're going to buy prism crystals, do not open these and do not log in until the champion chase tournament is on. So if you log in and open this menu up, it's going to claim your reward. So honestly, just stay logged out until the champion chase is on, log in, get all your prism crystals pulled, and you got a good chance of just winning Maria's soul from that, especially if you pull some legendaries. But honestly, with that many prism crystals, if you bought 10 or 20, you're going to get a lot of epics. Now, with all that said, there is more events going on. We're going to have a 2x event for Ancient Shards starting Friday as well. So there will be a lot of points put up on the board. Ancient Shards are the best thing to use for champion chase tournaments. So it is going to be a lot easier to actually get the Fusion Epic to complete it, so the fragments for the Fusion Epic. So that is good. But it also means that the people you're competing against are going to have a lot more points than they typically would. So it may be difficult to catch up, especially considering Ancient Shards aren't that expensive to purchase a big bulk amount of. Now, during this, there's also going to be a 15x chance, progressive chance, to get the following champions: Venalicia, Thrallmother, Rhodos, Morgaine, Kaja, Timid, and then these other ones: Gasper the Accursed, Siphi, and Constantine. Now, of course, if you're going for this, I would likely go Sify or Gaspard. I've not read over Gaspard too much. I wouldn't recommend pulling Void Shards anyways right now, simply because of the fact that Leonardo event coming up, we're expecting it to be shards involved some way. I just would not recommend pulling Void Shards at all. We will have more boosted rates for these champions, I can guarantee, in the future, so I would not rush that. For the epics, it's going to be Vogoth, Miscreant Monster, Magnar, all great epic champions, then Madame Ceres and Skullcrown. Once again, great champions there, but I'd argue not so game-changing nowadays because we're getting more and more options. Now, with the legendaries from the Ancient Shards, Rhodos, game-changing champion. Amazing. Super, super solid champion. I use him a lot. He's naked right now, but that doesn't matter. Free gear removal. I can switch it around all the time. Now, he's a great champion. Kaja is also a very solid champion. Has a good base speed. She has a good revive, a cleanse, a turn meter boost. Very good champion. We have, Timit on here as well. Timit's good. I'd say he's better with Kaja, but to be honest, the champions on this list that I'd really be looking for is this new champion, Rhodos if you don't have him. Morrigan is a good booster as well. She has a very high speed aura. Sorry, speed, base speed. Oh, it's the same as Kaja, actually. I thought it was 115. Either way, 112. She has a speed aura in all battles, so she's a really good champion as well. A lot of turn meter manipulation, turn meter decrease there, turn meter fill with increased speed. So she can really make your team go fast. But the champion I personally am most interested in is this new champion, who the character design for is very, very interesting. But either way, looking past that, I don't know how you can, but looking past that, we have an A1 attacks one enemy 3 times. Each has a chance of placing weaken. That's cool, but nothing that crazy. Her A2 and her A3 is where things get very interesting. Attacks all enemies. Before attacking, removes all buffs from all enemies. So this is not going to weak hit because it's before attacking. And then has a 75% chance of placing block buffs and decreased defense. We've already have champions doing this, but the strip beforehand is especially interesting. And the fact that it's going to be the strip, the attack, it's just great all around. You could throw in a curse set, provoke set for Hydra. She's going to do awesome. And then her A3 skill. This is crazy. Revives all dead allies with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. The key here is all dead allies on a 4-turn cooldown. If all other allies are dead, revives them with 75% HP and 75% turn meter instead. So if it's just a few, it's a little bit lower res. If it's everybody, it's a much bigger res. And decreases the cooldown of all revived ally skills by 1 turn. That is huge for all kinds of different areas. And Korra revives 1 target, I think resets their skills, right? But she's reviving them, reducing them all by 1 turn, which for some champions, depending on their turn, could be a full reset, but it's a very strong skill. Also increases the cooldown of all enemy skills by 2 turns. So a revive, reducing your cooldowns, increasing their cooldowns. I mean, it makes sense why she is rated so highly everywhere, and she just now came out. Now, her passive fills this champion's turn meter by 20% whenever an ally dies, heals this champion by 20% of their max HP, which is 22,000 base, very good there, whenever they are attacked by an enemy under Pain Link, which is going to be very, very situational, except for the fact that she places a Pain Link for 2 turns on enemies who deal damage equal to 25% or more of an ally's max HP with a single skill. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. Now, I am interested in knowing, does this skill work on multi-hitting skills? So say a champion does a triple hitter, the first hit does 25% of an ally's max HP. Does Pain Link get applied then? And then the champion just basically kills himself? Not really sure how that would work. As far as Pain Link itself, let's get a little bit of clarification on it. The Pain Link debuff causes the affected champion to receive a percentage of all damage received by the enemy who placed this debuff. So it would have to be specifically on Thrall Mother. The enemy receives 100% of the damage inflicted to them. The amount of the damage received depends on the enemy who placed the debuff. If it was the Head of Suffering, then the Pain Link debuff causes the affected champion to receive 15% of all damage received. If it was placed by a champion, the damage received will be specified in the champion's skill description. If it is not specified, it'll cause the affected champion to receive 15% of all damage received by the champion who placed the debuff. So that is a key thing there. The fact that it is specifically on damage dealt to her. But it's also going to be healing this champion by 20% of their max HP whenever they're attacked by somebody under Pain Linked. So basically, if you get Pain Link, don't attack her. But she would be an awesome champion to pick up. So I am definitely going to be pulling probably all of my Ancient Shards. Ancient Shards come plentifully now, and I can burn through those. I'd be okay. I'll also pick up some, and my Fire Knight farming is going to start tomorrow. But I will be doing that. I will be trying to go for her. And 2x Ancients, well, it's a great time to pull for them. Now, before I talk about my Halloween path plans, let's take a quick look at the fusion. So today is Wednesday. We're going to make a little squiggly line here. This is where we are. So the events that are finished, I'm going to put a red through those. So we have 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 150 fragments completely gone off the table. So at this point, obviously, throughout the whole fusion, you could have missed 2 events. If you've missed those 2, you got to do every single one past this point. But if you missed more than 2, the fusion's basically over for you, unfortunately, because you're not going to be able to buy the fragments for these fusion epics. At least I've never seen that in the past. Now, with that said, we have a few events going on, but also a few that you could have already completed. For example, the Spider Tournament, I've already completed that. So you may miss some, but you could be at the 150 fragments. So you have to look back and see which ones you missed and where you're currently at. So if you finish the Spider Tournament and you finish the, say, Hero's Path or even the Gear Enhancement, if you finish the Spider Tournament, you're looking at what? 4, so 150, 175 max. If you champion training, probably not finished yet. This would put you at 150 for the Gear Enhancement. And then for the Hero's Path, this would put you at 225. So 225 is what you could have in total. For me, where I'm looking at right now is I am sitting at, let's see. I am sitting at 125 fragments. I've not done any of the fusions yet. I have finished this. So this is done. I have not finished this. So this is remaining. I'm going to circle this and then circle this. So what I have right now to get is going to be the following. I have 125 already. So 125 plus 25 here, 75 there. So it's going to be another 100. 25, 50, 75, be another 100 with my stuff. And then 25, 50, 75, 100, which is the final 100. So if I hit every event, still on track, doing good, I can finish this event out smoothly. And hopefully you guys are as well. As far as how I'm going to complete the Hero's Path, it's going to be a little bit different than I originally said. Because after doing the video, a pack popped up in the shop that if you're a spender, this is actually a pretty solid value. So 30,000 coins basically, well, 29,000 plus 97.50. These are not cheap necessarily, but compared to what other resources you would be spending, it's not too bad because 29,000, let me pull the calculator back up again, 29,000 divided by 4,500, which I believe is a Sacred Shard value during this event. Yeah, 4,500 would be the equivalent of 6 Sacred Shards. Now, of course, with 6 Sacred Shards, you're not going to be just getting the points here. You're actually going to be getting other champions, but it could just be all epics. But with 6 Sacred Shards, you're looking at least $120 probably, or at least probably between like 70 and 120. Of course, if you have free stuff saved up, it's going to be free, but you can save those for future events. Now, if you converted that over to energy, I believe the calculator that I was running, it says it's 1.92 points per energy. So if I was to take the 30,000 points, basically 1.92, I think is what it would be. So 15,000 energy times 1.92. Yeah. So 15,000 energy, which if we were to take that out a little bit further, divided by 250, which is the points per dollar I like to get typically. Now, they're not always that cheap. Most of the time, they're a little bit more expensive than that. It'd be $62 for that same pack. Right here, it's 40, so it is a bit cheaper. Now, of course, we're not getting the gear from that energy. We also don't have any energy packs that are actually a good value. So you have to take from that what you will. Now, the second one is going to be a little bit lower value, but as far as how it breaks down further, let's see. So 30,000 divided by 40, 750, so 750 points per dollar. 97.51 divided by 15 is going to be 650. So actually, the second one looks to be a very solid value, the more expensive one. This one right here it may actually be fairly comparable to energy. So I may actually just not even purchase this one, honestly. 9750 divided by 1.92, 5,778. So 5,078 divided by 250 is $20. So yeah, I mean, that would be like saving $5 from the price I typically purchase energy. So that one, not so appealing to me. So I'm actually just going to do a bit more energy. I mean, the gym equivalent to that is going to be what? 5,100 divided by 130 times 40. It'd be 1,500 gems. Fire Night 2x event is going to be starting tomorrow. So for me, that's going to be better. Plus, I already have those resources saved up. I do have some sacred, so that's probably what I'm going to be doing. Now, with the Halloween Planner event, I actually calculated in the 9750. So let's get rid of that real quick. 43,235. Now, I know some of you may not want to spend it all, and that's good. Don't spend in the game. I'm not recommending that. But I also know a lot of you are interested and may want to hear the math and breakdowns behind it. That's what I'm trying to do. So 33,485 here. 85, because I do already have some points built up. Then for Fire Night, I plan to do 30,000 energy, missing 7,900 points there. So maybe I do 35,000, and then I'll go ahead and cap it out. Maybe I stop a bit before that. But what this is going to allow me to get, 126,000 points, is going to be down here to pick up these lilies plus Raphael. I may even go ahead and pick up his avatar as well. I'm going to pick up all 75 fragments plus the Radiant Sun Lilies, because these are very good to have. More mythical crafts are better. And then I'm going to pick up these, of course, because I have to get those. And then when I get the second key, I'm actually going to go ahead and pick up the other 50 legendary lilies as well. So I'll end up walking away with 100 legendary, 100 epic, 50 mythical. I don't really need the legendary tomes right now. They are good to get, but I don't want to go too crazy in this event. I definitely don't want to get April. I just don't think she's worth it at all. So this event will make sense for me and where I am, but not for everybody. Don't put yourself in a bad position for the Leonardo event, because it should be coming up, right? Someday, sometime. This is expensive as well. But someday, maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign I'm about to pull a mythical champion. But either way, someday the Leonardo event's going to come up, and you're going to wish you had some shards saved up. So just be very careful. Use some energy, use some shards, have some reserves, because whatever Plarium throws at us, you want to be ready. Energy may even be the best thing to save, because with the Leonardo event, it could be shards, it could be soul stones. It's almost guaranteed it's going to be energy or silver. Another thing, if you plan to do a lot of farming, the Forge Pass is a smart idea. Now, once again, this is expensive. You can go buy yourself a full game for this, for the prices of these things. But if you do spend, this is going to give you more return on your silver. Now, I'm fairly low in the Forge Pass right now. I may go ahead and pick it up shortly, because I'm going to get the bolster gear, I'm sure. I would love to get to this level at least. The more silver from Fire Knight's great. We always need more silver. But with Leonardo event, like I was saying, we don't know if it's soul stones or shards. We have no clue. It could be soul stones and your shards stockpile won't matter, or it could be shards and your soulstone stockpile won't matter. But I can almost guarantee it'll be dungeon divers with a small chance of champion training or artifact enhancement. They've been leaning more into dungeon divers, it seems, so I got a feeling that's just what it's going to be. I haven't seen one with artifact enhancement in a very long time, and champion training is probably the easiest of them, so I kind of doubt they'll even do that. But either way, that's my updates, my recaps, my plans, and everything that I can think of right now. Hopefully this helps you guys out. I will leave a link down below to this Halloween pumpkin coin planner. This will be my plan to drop 35,000 energy about into Dragon. I do have some energy in my inbox, so a lot of it's going to come from here. I don't have a ton. I'm going to use some of my gems. This is what I've been saving for, is events like this, so I can save my shards a bit, and maybe I adjust this a little bit. Maybe I want to go a little bit less energy, but either way, this is my plan. This is the planner. I'll leave a link down below. 6 sacreds to get all this stuff. It's really not, well, 6 sacreds, a bunch of gems, not a terrible trade-off. Let me know what you guys plan to do. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Don't FOMO into this, though, okay? I really don't think any of this stuff is game-changing. The Raphael Soul is good, but I'd say as far as priorities, it should be fragments to get yourself in a guaranteed spot for the fusion, to get the fusion, Raphael Soul, Obviously, if you're not going for the fusion, Raphael Sol beats that. But the fragments, Raphael Sol, and then the relic materials. It's not something you should be worried about. Oh, if I miss these, I'm going to be way behind in my account. No, it could actually be the opposite. If you go for these and you miss future events, then you could be behind in your account. I've actually had a lot better time since skipping the Granite Doorkeep fusion. I've been able to just stockpile the sacreds from Clan Boss. Obviously, I spin, so I do get some from there as well. But you guys saw in the recent video, I pulled 3 sacred shards from Clan Boss, 2 from Ultra Nightmare, 1 for Nightmare. I actually got another one this morning, so Clan Boss has been very generous to me. But either way, just don't FOMO into it. It's much better to save, sit out on some stuff so you can jump into the things that actually matter. But thank you guys very much for watching. This will be the final attempt at the outro, and I'll catch you on the next one.